Hey, and we're back here in studio. We got Ray Hall in the house, Ray Hall Appraisals. We're going to talk about the real estate market and what he's seeing from a valuation standpoint, where he sees the market going. And before we do, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team, and a quick shout out to our friend at Lawn Anglers, Adam Long. He's our go-to guy for all landscaping lawn anglers. They do a great job on our residential and real estate and commercial real estate properties. Lawn maintenance, landscaping, mulching, tree trimming, yard cleanouts, and more from Lawn Anglers. Say hello to Adam Long and his team. They do a great job. So if you're shopping that right now, we'd love to put you in touch with him. Does a great job for us. All right, 232 Hardcastle Place, Valrico, one of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, we have a great opportunity for a maybe potentially an entry-level home. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, very affordable home here. Granite countertops. You have sliders with a screen lanai storage room, a laundry room located upstairs. You have access to a community pool, beautiful community pool area with pavers there, fenced in, of course. Great opportunity there at 232 Hardcastle Place, Valrico. 2 bedroom, 2.5 bath, plus a bonus room, 1,560 square feet. Gorgeous townhome there. 306th Street North in unit number 6. This is in Safety Harbor. Safety Harbor is one of the most sought-after areas in all of Tampa Bay, right up there with Dunedin, Palm Harbor. This one is 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, 924 square feet, 306th Street North, unit number 6, Safety Harbor. The community total has around 13 units. You have your own community pool there as well. You have a new sink in the kitchen and bathroom. This property is a great opportunity, close walking distance to a lot of the shops and nearby schools in Safety Harbor, right on Main Street there, close to Main Street, that is. Stainless steel appliances, and a great opportunity in Safety Harbor, Florida. You can see all of our 60-plus listings on our website at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right, we got Ray Hall back in studio. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Oh, man, doing well, buddy. Blessed and highly favored. Things are going well. Yes,
Great,
sir.
Great. Good to hear it.
Yeah, man. So you're a highly respected appraiser, but also a new pilot, I hear. Right?
I am. I'm a new pilot. I just recently took my check ride and somehow passed.
Okay. Yeah.
Me and the examiner got back to the airport safely. So, yeah, I'm a pilot now. So,
nice.
Being, I'm a certified appraiser in 8 states now.
Sweet.
So hoping to kind of integrate that into my business and, start doing some, nationwide commercial stuff eventually. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And I also just love doing it for fun. Get up on the weekends, get in the plane, and go check out somewhere new.
So you got your small engine. This is your first one is like your Cessna's, your small engine. And do you have any aspirations to get up to the next? Would that be jets? Or?
I don't know if I'd get to jets.
Yeah.
I do want to get my complex, which is planes with landing gear.
Okay.
Or that can go over high performance, that can go over certain horsepower, things like that. Because the faster the plane goes, more places you can see, and that's kind of I love traveling.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's my first year not going skiing in like 5 years. So, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. So I'm real excited about it. This just happened a couple weeks ago, so still pretty new to me. So I'm really still excited about it.
That's fun, man.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, we just did that trip down to Key West last week or a couple weeks ago. And that was a great time. Will Smith Aviation, Captain Will Smith. That was a good time. Man.
Yeah, I gotta get on his good side and give him a call.
There you go. Check in with him. Check in, dude.
I'll do the flying.
There you go. Well, he always needs a co-pilot there.
Exactly.
So we got Ray Hall in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Hall Appraisals, longtime friend of the show. He's a valuation expert. So, Ray, can you talk a little bit about just a little bit about your history, but also the fact that you have, you do the residential, commercial, vacant land. You've even valued some kind of unique situations with orange groves. I think it was at one point you were telling me.
I've done it all. So this past October was 19 years in the appraisal business. So I started 2004, right before we had that big 2005, 2006 boom, and then right before we had that big crash.
Yep.
So I've been through that before. So I started out as a residential appraiser. Worked for a large appraisal company here in the Tampa Bay area. They were actually out of Sarasota. And then after a few years, realized I wanted to get into commercial. I'd had a 4-year degree from University of South Florida and realized, why not, put it to use for me.
Right.
And at that time, in fact, I still think you had to have a 4-year degree to be a general appraiser, which enables you to do commercial properties.
The degree was in what?
I have a in marketing, in business.
Okay, so the appraisal, was it like a minor or was it?
No, the appraisal. So
Okay, I got you.
to go into my full history, after college, I was a financial advisor.
Okay.
I was selling those mutual funds and selling those stocks and all that. And one day got up and said, I hate this. I just didn't like it. So I decided I want to be an appraiser. I wanted to be something a little more analytical. And, I literally walked into my branch manager. I said, you know what, this isn't for me. Tomorrow's my birthday. I'm going to take the day off, and that's my last day.
Yeah, there you go.
And got a job right away and started it. And, years later, have my own business, and here I am.
Nice.
So after a few years of residential, I got into commercial. And then I worked for a commercial guy who did a lot of interesting properties. That one you were talking about was a 25,000 acre citrus grove.
Yeah,
To give you an idea of size, that's like almost the size of like Wesley Chapel.
Wow.
It was huge. I've done, stuff for the Florida Department of Environmental Protection when they were buying up land for conservation purposes. I've done interesting things like an Indian mound in Manatee County, which is also very cool. So, I've had a very, very broad spectrum of properties I've appraised. It's funny when I get on with a new client, I always say, well, what kind of properties can you do? And I literally give them a 2-paragraph list of all the properties I've had experience with. So, I've definitely been out there. I've definitely seen a lot of things. It's funny, every time I go into a house, and I'm sure you get this, and they're apologizing for how dirty the house is when I get there. I say, look, I've seen it all, and I haven't been shocked in almost 10 years, so I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Yeah.
I say, until you can beat the cat lady in Plant City.
Yeah, I've seen some of those too.
Don't worry about it.
It's tough, when you walk into some of these homes and you look at, the mental health situation of the client.
Yeah.
In some cases, it's tough because depression's real. You see it out there.
Absolutely.
Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. So, Ray, I brought in the stats from the Tampa Realtor magazine. This is a magazine that's sent out to Tampa Bay real estate agents, and some good articles in here. Oh, sure. And this one is talking about the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater MSA total market. And since I want to go through some of these stats and then just get your take on it.
Yeah.
Closed sales, single-family homes, closed sales. December of 22, there were 3,033. And in December 23, so just a couple months ago, a month and a half, 2,773. That's a negative 8.6% change. What is that? What do you read into that?
We had the change in interest rates.
Okay.
And so it put some people on the fence. Yeah. So, I'm sure you and I both saw that decline.
Yep.
Even into 2023. For me, business-wise, 2023 was the slowest year I've had in a long time. So we did have that slowdown. So that's pretty much to be expected, I would think, based on what I saw out there in the market. Is that, doom and gloom? No, 8%.
Right. I
mean, less than 10% really is kind of minimal in my opinion. That's how we look at things in an evaluation standpoint.
Percentages.
Yeah. So 8%, to be expected, but I think really that shows how strong the market still is.
Yeah.
Considering that first number you gave was coming out of the strongest market we've had in years.
Right.
And now, we did have that decline and kind of a levelization.
Yeah.
And I think actually that's a great example that the market levelized. It's not dropping.
Normalization.
Exactly. Yep. It's just coming to a sense of normalcy, and that's what we're seeing right now. And I've seen increases in my business, and I think 2024 is looking really good so far. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, the next one is, and again, we're talking about Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, the total market, the MSA, median sales price. December 2022, 394,095, and then December 23, up 4% to 410,000. What do you read into that?
Man, that's great. That's what I read into it. That again, me and you have talked about it before, how so many people were on the fence waiting for that crash. Remember?
Yep.
It's going to crash and I'm going to get all these great deals. Well, guess what? You waited too long.
Yep.
Because there's no crash. It doesn't look like it's happening, and values in some areas are still going up. Now, I've seen some little pockets where maybe they had a little bit of a decline.
Right.
But overall, I've seen increases or stabilized values.
Yeah.
And that's...
You still have that same, that around 1,000 people moving down here per day.
Yeah.
So they're fleeing these states with high crime, high taxes, cold weather, et cetera. So they're moving to Florida. So yeah, the median sale price going up to 410. That still, it's not shocking, as you said. And again, when you hear about these naysayers, these people that are kind of spreading this false sense of, oh, the market's going to crash, I'm just going to wait for it to crash.
Yeah.
We're in Florida, guys. We're in Tampa Bay. I don't see that happening unless it's something what you kind of alluded to earlier around the 2006 when you had the irrational exuberance in the lending, the crazy lending. Yeah. But we don't have any of that now.
Exactly. And that was the next point I wanted to make was, everyone says, well, this is the same thing as 2005, 2006. No, this is completely different from 2005. Exactly. You could literally get a stated mortgage income. You just say, I make $200,000 a year, and they'll say, great, here's your mortgage. They don't do that anymore. Yeah. Loans are a lot safer, and they're a lot more strict on requirements.
Here's another one I'll look at. It's inventory, active listings. So in December 2022, you had 8,330. So 8,330, and then in December 23, up slightly, just under 3% to 8,568. So inventory slightly up.
That's really nothing. I mean, that's a great sign because we've had prices go up, but the inventory really hasn't moved.
Right.
So buyers are willing to pay more, and we have just as many buyers out there because the inventory is still being absorbed.
Yeah.
So it could be that we still haven't reached that point yet. And if you've ever, studied economics, there's that point where the price will all of a sudden, the inventory is going to go up.
Diminishing returns?
Something along those lines.
Right.
It's been a long time since I studied that.
Yeah.
But, once you get to that high price, now your inventory goes up. And that's when you priced a little too high and then you tweak it back.
Right.
Remember, I had a professor who used to compare it to a little bit of cold water, a little bit of hot water until you're comfortable in the shower.
There you go.
And so what you're saying is with inventory not moving but prices going up, that could be a sign that we still haven't reached the peak of our real estate values.
Yeah. And the month supply of inventory is 2.6 at that point. So we're still on the seller's side. The seller's market. There's low inventory.
Yep.
There's the buyer and the challenge here. When you look at what the challenges are in the market, it's a lack of inventory still. It's the lower priced homes, the affordable housing. And the state of Florida did a real good thing with releasing more monies, adding more monies into the Hometown Heroes programs. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to work through that. I think builders really need to ramp up inventory, especially for those, $200,000 to $300,000, $400,000 homes, a little bit more affordable for people.
Yeah. And the builders are still crunching away out there, because I live up in the new Tampa area by Wesley Chapel.
Yep. And
it seems like anywhere there was a cow field, it's getting, torn up and paved over, and they're putting up houses. So that inventory, I'm actually very surprised that the inventory hasn't moved much since 2022. I mean, 3%, like we said, less than 10%, I say is barely anything. 3%, that's hardly a movement.
Right.
So that's great. That's great to see and great to hear.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's take a quick break there. More with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com. You can submit all your email questions there. You can reach out. We'd put you in touch with Ray Hall. He has also a owner's use only appraisal that he offers to homeowners that we'll talk about coming up here on the next segment with Ray Hall Appraisals. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1 at CQB Show. And do us a big favor. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Brandon Rhymes Realty. And we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider who shares your values. They offer the very best nationwide coverage on 4G and 5G LTE networks and exceptional 100% U.S.-based customer support. Patriot Mobile offers discounts for veterans and first responders, NRA members, and families with multiple lines. Learn more at patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. That's patriotmobile.com 727-263-consumerqb. Or if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach out at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. And we'd be happy to tell you more about Patriot Mobile. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. One of our strategies is to help our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure, helping sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We do that by featuring our listings live on air, 80 outlets worldwide, thousands of listeners every day. So it's a very unique strategy that we can help you with. If you're selling real estate, reach out to the team. We'd love to talk to you, consumerqb.com. We got a hot listing here at 8507 Cleonia Street in Tampa. This is a nice opportunity for someone out there that's 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 864 square feet. You got a bungalow here, and the interior looks beautiful. It's lighter colors. I love the earth tones in the bathroom there. That color is a really soft color. 5-year-old roof, flooded with natural light. This is a bungalow in Tampa, Cleonia Street, 8507 Cleonia Street. The entire home boasts lovely wood-look porcelain tile flooring. You have a new septic pump. Also features a tankless water heater. Kitchen features ample cabinets, counter space, mango, passion fruit, avocado, lime, hibiscus, sugarcane, cooking oranges, star fruit, and papaya trees. Also at this beautiful home in Tampa, Hillsborough County. Another one of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. 18522 Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores. This is a $1 million listing on the beach. This is on Indian Shores, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, just shy of 2,000 square feet. Beachfront condo in Indian Shores. Great opportunity to own real estate. Granite countertops, mosaic backsplash. You have 3 balconies here where you can look out to the Gulf, or if you look the other way, you're looking at the intercoastal waterways there in Indian Shores, Pinellas County beaches. You can see all of our listings online at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. Check out PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, we got Ray Hall here in studio. Ray, the show is called the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're a consumer advocate, and I like to ask these questions around questions that you get. You know, what are some of the biggest misnomers? What are some of these consumer advocate ideas or topics? Some things that people think about appraisal, and it's maybe not right on point, but, you know, they're close.
Yeah, gotten a lot of questions over the years. I think, one of the biggest misconceptions is people think just because I spent money on the house, it just increased my value.
Right. Dollar per dollar.
Dollar per dollar. And I had that once. I said, I was talking to someone. I said, well, what do you think your house is worth? He says, well, we bought it for $250,000, and I spent $7,000 on the fence, so it must be worth about $257,000.
Right.
Sitting there proving a $7,000 adjustment for the fence is a bit difficult because, and I even have, people on my staff that help me with organizing and preparing paperwork. They just say, hey, what would the adjustment be on this? I said, well, I don't know. I said, it's not a number we just arbitrarily pick out of air. And what people don't understand is the value is not what we're seeing. The value comes from the sales in your neighborhood.
Comparison approach.
The sales comparison approach. So you have a 2,000 square foot house. What are all the 2,000 square foot houses selling for? So I might have 2,000 square foot houses that are 200,000, and I have a third at 250,000. But that third one has a swimming pool. So what happens is I know the adjustment for a swimming pool in that area is about $50,000, and that's how that kind of works.
15 or 50?
50.
50.
15. It has been 15 in a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's definitely gone out, and that varies from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Right.
Also, a lot of people don't understand the purpose of highest and best use.
Right.
I was just appraising a house in South, a very old house, not updated, on the water in the beach park area. Now, I had to explain to the lender, I said, look, the highest and best use, I said, probably isn't renovations because somebody was trying to renovate it. I said, in this neighborhood, primarily these houses are bought, torn down, and people will pay millions for them just to tear them down and build up a bigger house.
Right.
I said, good example, Derek Jeter's house.
Yeah.
They bought that for $20 million, and the plan is to tear it down and build 5 houses.
Yeah.
So highest and best use is something that really that's coming into what we do as an appraiser. The standard appraisal, we can kind of do that pretty easy. I can, knock that out in a half hour. But it's these complicated things like highest and best use and that adjustment estimates is where the appraiser comes in. Also location. I've had people, I had a realtor say to me once, she said, you'll find plenty of comps that support the sale price. You just have to go outside the neighborhood.
Right.
I said, well, that's an issue.
Right.
If I have to go outside the neighborhood and ignore sales in your neighborhood, I can't do that. There's a lot of things like that.
It's based on what the lender has provided as guidelines, right?
Well, that guideline is Fannie Mae.
Fannie and Freddie.
Right. Remember, about, I think, 80 to 90% of mortgages are sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
Yeah.
And for a while, I worked for JP Morgan Chase. It was just them. And I was helping them with repurchase demands from Fannie Mae.
Okay.
And my job was to argue on behalf of the appraiser.
Okay.
And that's all I did. And I had to know their guidelines, their seller's guide. And I even had one lender come back once and say, you can use these comps because the lender said, Fannie Mae says you can right here. I said, you're only giving me one sentence. I said, that whole paragraph actually states I have to use the most similar proximate. I said, I can't just go outside the neighborhood because it suits you.
Yeah.
A lot of what we do is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines as well, especially with residential.
Right, because if you have a 2,000 square foot home, standard 2-car garage, you have to stay closest proximity as possible, right?
Right.
So you're looking at the closest comp in comparison. Do you still have to do the bracketing of the property as well? So one bigger, one smaller, one higher sale price, one sold for less. I mean, talk to me about that.
Now with bracketing, I mean, if you find something that's like if I'm in a new development and I have a model match, that's good enough.
Okay.
I have similar and lower or similar or higher. But what that is if I have a house on an acre lot and all of my comparables have quarter acre lots and I made upward adjustments. Now when I say upward adjustments, it means I just adjusted the sale price of all of my comparable sales upwards to account for the subject's superior lot. I know this is getting way in the weeds.
Yeah.
But the thing is if I don't have one with a larger lot to prove that I'm within this adjustment range,
sure,
I can just make up whatever number I want.
Yeah.
So I kind of get something that's better than the subject,
right,
so that I can prove that my adjustment is sound, it's market derived, and applicable to the assignment.
Okay. What do we do in terms of if a homeowner wants to potentially get your owner's use appraisal? Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. If you want to get an appraisal on your house, now this is just a basic appraisal. You can give my office a call at 813-452-5369, or just go to my website, rayhallappraisals.com, and there's a link in there where you can send us an email and tell us what you need. We don't even have to come out to the house, and we can do that report for $150.
$150 owner's use appraisal. It's a desktop appraisal, real quick and easy. He's going to be able to look at pictures online, information online, get you a approximation and a value. And then once you get that value, then you turn around and call me, and I'm going to list the property for you. So, Ray Hall Appraisals, Ray Hall Appraisals. What's that website one more time?
rayhallappraisals.com.
rayhallappraisals.com. Also, you can see all of our expert contributors' Ray's information at consumerqb.com, and you can also submit an email form from the website, consumerqb.com. Ray, thanks again, man. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, another great show. We had Mark Hay, 21st Century Financial Group, 101 tax deductions for business owners, Ray Hall Appraisals. And I want to thank all of our producers, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.